Welcome to the first video in a series of videos where I teach you the basics of Python. So in this video, we're going to be going over how to install, set up, and run Python. So the first thing you want to do is have Python installed. If you don't have Python installed, then you can just follow this right here. So first you want to go to python.org, and once you're at python.org, you get to this page right here. And you want to go down to the download section right here, click on it, and you'll get to this page. So I'm on a Mac, but if you're on a Windows or Linux or any other thing, it'll work as well. You just have to, the download process will just be a little bit different. But I'm on Mac, so if you're on Mac, you can follow along here. If not, it'll be relatively simple, but if you still need help, you can try searching for how to download it for your operating system. But basically, now that you're at this page, you want to click on download Python 3.11.0. It might be a different version for you based on when you're watching this video, but at the time that I'm recording this, this is the latest version of Python that there is, so we're going to be downloading this. So that's going to be download down here, and once it's done downloading, you can open the package. And once you open the package, you get to this install Python page. And now you just want to continue and complete the installation. Okay, and now that the installation is completed successfully, you're now ready to use Python. But you can move this, yeah, you can move the Python installer to trash because we're not going to need that anymore. But now what we're going to do is we're not actually going to run Python yet. We're going to actually download an IDE, which is an integrated development environment. And basically the IDE that we're going to be downloading is called Visual Studio Code. So you want to go to this site right here, code.visualstudio.com. And once you're there, you're going to reach this page. And so basically what Visual Studio Code, or called VS Code, it's basically this streamlined code editing environment, and it has a lot of features and extensions that you could use to just help your programming and help your progress with your code. And so once you're at this page, you're gonna see all of these things. You can go down here, you can see reviews. You can see kind of like the features that VS Code has. We're not really gonna get into that too much, but you'll find out what these features are as we go along. But basically now what you want to do is you want to download Visual Studio Code. And over here we have the download button. For me it says download Mac Universal Stable Build as I'm on a Mac. But if you are on a Windows or a Linux or anything else, you can go down here and you can choose your thing. So here I am, and I'm going to download the Mac Universal Stable Build. And there it goes. It takes you to this page. It says thanks for downloading VS Code for Mac. And it gives you kind of like a quick getting started tutorial, like getting started, user guide, source control, terminal languages. It gives you a lot of things. If you really want to get to know how to use it like pretty good, you can read all of this. But if not, you can just continue on the tutorial and like learn along the way. Okay, but so now that after that's downloaded, we can open up the zip file and extract the zip file. Okay, so there we go. Once you extract the zip file, it'll take you to the downloads folder, and you'll see this application called Visual Studio Code, and we can go and open it up. Okay, so now once you open up Visual Studio Code, you're gonna get this page. And yeah, don't worry, this message down here is just for a different extension that I was doing. I already had Visual Studio Code downloaded, so it might be a little different. It might be a little different than what you're gonna see. But yeah. So what you want to do is you want to go over here to start and press new file. So this is gonna create your new file, and over here you can name your file. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just create a simple file. So let's just type in first. But you can't just leave it in as first. You have to do .py so it knows that it's a Python Python application. So then you can press enter, and now it's gonna ask you where you want to save this this application. So you can do it in your desktop, downloads, folders, or any other folders that you have for the application. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it in my directory for now. So here we have our first application. So we actually need this .py because it signifies that this is a Python file. If we didn't have a .py, it would just be a txt file, and any code you would write on it wouldn't be it wouldn't run. And same thing if you're doing with other languages like Java or anything, you have to use their designated abbreviation here, because or not, if you don't, then the code you run in that language will not actually run. But here we go, we have our first Python file, and you can do anything you want here. And yeah, so now let's just look at kind of like what we have around here. So obviously this is what you're going to use the most. It's the run Python file. So when you click this, the code that you have written in this file will run. Down here we have settings. You can change the theme of your you change the colors and everything of what you see here. It's the accounts. And over here we have the explorer. This is used to go through files. So if you have multiple files open, see, it says I have not yet opened a folder, because we're just creating a singular file. We don't have a folder filled with multiple files. But if you do have a folder filled with multiple files, you could go through it and click on different ones. Here's extensions. So what extensions are basically, they're kind of like Google extensions, if you know what those are. It gives you like extra perks and extra add-ons that the application doesn't have without it. Like, for example, some of it can be like changing the color of your text to make it more organized, or like simple things like that, or it can be more complex. But yeah, we'll get into extensions later. I do have like around 19 installed from my before I was because I already had Visual Studio Code installed, so you might not see this, but yeah, don't worry, we're gonna be looking through that soon. And yeah, so we're not gonna look at these for now. We'll just go back to our file right here. So now what we're gonna do is we can run anything we want here. Now that we have our Python set up, we can run our code here. So in this video we learned how to download Python, set up Python, download our Visual Studio Code, and then run Python on Visual Studio Code. And yeah, if this video helped you or you learned something new, make sure to subscribe and look out for future videos. And yeah, thanks for watching.